Okay.
So my speech is in regards ADHD, which is attention deficit disorder. Um, so there are questions in regards this disorder. Some people think that it's an illness, and other people think that it's not. I do believe it is an illness. However, it doesn't have a cure. It's something that we learn to work with as we grow older. I have two boys, and they both have ADHD. They have different spectrum. One is the way he works is a little bit slower, and the other one is a little bit higher, hyper. My oldest son is they both take medication. They take the same medication, and which is interesting because for the one that is a little bit slower, the medication will bring him to a point that he can function well. And for the one that is too hyper, and then the medication lower his hyperactivity to be able to be balanced and function well at school. Many psychiatrists will go ahead and tell you, yes, let's medicate the patient. You know, they do have these um, problems. When a kid has ADHD, there are many factors that they take in consideration, and there are a lot of indicators that they look into, like behavior, like how they do school. There is also a Vanderbilt form that they use in school where they teach and evaluate these kids. I found a statistic on what ages this is easier to detect ADHD, which it says, according to this statistic, when the kid is born until the 2 years is not that high, but all the way from 3 years to 40 years old is easier to detect that the person has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And then it goes lower. It goes from 41 years old and above. It's a little bit more difficult because, as we know, the older that we get, the slower that we get. And not only that, the fact that we become older, we learn to control the impulsivity that this disorder has. Now, I found another statistic that I found interesting, which says that females don't have this attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Males are more into having this. And it kind of, so far, looking at my kids, my two boys has it, but I don't see my daughter having that. She doesn't show indicators that she may have that. Of course, she's a baby. We have to wait until she's like 2, 3 years old to start looking more into if she has it or not. So, like I mentioned before, there are medications for it, there is therapy. When I do believe that medicating the kids when they're little, it helps them to function better at school. Because when the kids have this disorder and then they suffer with the self-esteem, because as a human, we tend to compare ourselves with somebody else. And when they go to school and they're hyper, they're fidgeting, they get nervous, they get anxiety, they see they are different compared to the other kids, and then their self-esteem go low because they cannot function the same. It takes double of the work for them to do a regular homework that it will take for a kid that doesn't have ADHD. So that's when the whole self-esteem starts suffering. Now, once the kid becomes like 12 years old, 13 years old, that is able to understand what they have and be able to control their impulsivity and, work around this disorder. And then that's the time that I will say no medications are needed or very low dosage, because now the kid is having a better understanding in how he can control things. I do believe that the kids or the people that have ADHD are gifted. They are very smart. Um, they get bored easily, which means that they're very analytical. If you see, there is people that are attorneys, people that are law enforcement officers. Some of these people, they do have ADHD. And that's what I say, they're gifted, because due to this disorder, they multitask and they're able to pay more attention to tasks that are more stressful. And they have what it takes to do those jobs. So this is what I want to talk today. This is what I want to share. I do believe that yes, it is an illness, doesn't have a cure, but it is manageable. It takes time. As a parent, it does take time, and understanding how to work with our kids is beautiful because you create a special bond with them that it will last forever. Um, and you learn a lot from therapists, from doctors, from research that we do to help our family or to help those patients that has AIDS. Thank you. All right, that's my speech.
Good job.
Good job.
Of course, what I say now is not what is on the recording because this time is better because I'm sitting down and relaxed.
I thought you did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very informative.
Okay, so do we need to answer all these questions?
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions.
What are the questions?
It says,
Do
did
we
the
have to do-
speaker have a
Do we have to do this with
worthwhile
everyone?
topic?
Yeah.
Okay. Closely related to the first question in the issue of the speaker level of commitment. Has the speaker made an attempt to be objective, to fair to himself or herself, to the audience of the subject? That's a long question. I hope you understood because I didn't.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
I'm not.
Did the speaker show the subject? I mean, did the speaker know the subject?
Yeah, of course. Yes. No,
Yeah.
I think you make research and you explain very good about this illness or what happened to the people who have this situation.
Was there evidence that
And you have personal experience.
Yes, that's for sure. Was there evidence that the speaker had analyzed the audience?
Yeah, you show some
Yeah.
Statistics that show the range of the age of the people with this situation and the gender.
Mhm.
You said that in males is more frequently to find out that type of situation.
Okay. Was the speech structurally sound?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the speaker utilize language meaningfully? Wow. Meaningfully. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Help?
I think did you have meaning behind it, which
Yes.
it being personal, it just means I think with meaning and thoughtfulness, which being a personal experience, there was a lot of meaning behind it because you've experienced what you're talking about, not just researched it.
Did the speaker utilize factor of attention and interest in both the context and the delivery of the speech? Let's see. The next one is, did the speaker illustration, example, statistic, testimony, and analogies met the test of evidence?
I think that
Sure. Some of these questions are weird.
These are crazy questions. Let me go back with the other questions. All right. I think we have, how effectively did the speaker employ his or her voice?
I think you did a good job on using your own voice. It was very natural.
Was the speaker a credible spokesperson on the subject? What was the total?
What was that?
Was the speaker a credible spoken person on the subject?
I
Yeah.
think that you really is because you have that situation with your kids.
What
And
was the total impression left by the speech? These are a lot of questions that we need to, oh my goodness, Lord. I guess we're just gonna do the speech and we're just gonna give like a briefly comment because those are a lot of questions.
yeah.
All right, I
Yeah.
keep recording. Does anybody need to record?
Yeah, I think we should record the whole thing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna continue recording and then I'll send you a copy
Yeah.
of this recording. Okay,
Yeah.
super. Who's next?
Okay.
Maybe Elizabeth?
I'm looking.
Okay.
Usually
I'm on
they
mute.
say me, so good job.
My son is like watching a show right now. Can you hear the background?
No,
Should I move?
no.
Just
Is it
a little
okay?
bit. It's
Is
okay.
it okay?
It's okay, we can watch it with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll try to do a good job on this speech. All right. So today
You're going to do a good job.
Oh, thanks. I'll try to make it not too long. So today I'm going to be talking about mindfulness. So I'm going to start by telling you what mindfulness is, and then I'm going to tell you how mindfulness can be implemented into your life and how it can benefit your life. So mindfulness is being aware of your body and your mind and your emotions. And it's premised off of the belief that each of these things are interrelated and that they influence each other. So for instance, if you are feeling, I'm going to use this visual aid to help you understand. If you are feeling angry at somebody, then that might make you think that they're out to get you, which might make your body end up having a lot of tension. Or maybe your body is feeling fatigued, and this might make your emotions be overwhelmed. And then this might lead you to think that your life is spinning out of control. And then lastly, maybe you are thinking that you're not very smart. This might lead you to feel sad, and this could lead to an addiction that could harm your body. So as you can see, each of these things, your body, your mind, and your thoughts, they all influence each other. So with mindfulness, the goal is to improve on each of these things by being more aware of them. So how you can implement mindfulness into your life is by using this strategy called STOP. And STOP is an acronym for stop, take a breath, observe, and proceed. So the first step is stop. And you can stop at any time during your day. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, tired, disconnected from yourself, or disconnected from others. You can stop. And then the next step is to take a breath. And taking a breath is a great way to focus your mind and get you ready to become more aware of your thoughts and your emotions. And then the next step is to observe. So you can observe a few things. The first thing you can observe are your thoughts. Maybe you have distorted thinking patterns. Some distorted ways of thinking are blowing things out of proportion, labeling yourself or others, or thinking that you can read other people's minds. So if you find yourself having distorted thoughts like this, then you should replace them with more realistic and positive thoughts. And this will help you to be more in control of your emotions and your thoughts. And then another thing you can observe is your emotions. You should observe how you feel. Do you feel sad? Do you feel peaceful? Why do you feel this way? Just taking time to observe can be really beneficial to you and help you to be connected to yourself. And then you can also observe things in your external world. You can observe stressors. You can observe the people around you, what they're saying. It'll help you to be more connected to those around you and to your environment. And then the last step in this process is to proceed. And hopefully after going through this process, you will have felt of the benefits of it. So the first benefit is better overall health. So from the deep breathing, you get the physical benefits. Deep breathing improves blood flow, it improves posture, it increases energy, it improves digestion, and it just makes you feel better overall. And this, as we know, contributes to better emotional and mental health because the body and the mind and the emotions are connected. And then thinking clearly, getting rid of distorted thinking, also helps you to have better mental and emotional health. The second benefit that comes with mindfulness is to be able to be connected to yourself and to others. And this comes from observing your emotions and observing those around you. And then the final benefit of being more mindful is greater fulfillment in life. And this comes from being more present in your life and having better relationships with others and feeling better overall. So to sum up my points, mindfulness is an awareness of your body, your mind, and your emotions. One way you can implement it into your life is the STOP method. Stop, take a breath, observe, proceed. And the benefits of doing this are greater overall health, better relationships with others, and more fulfillment in life. And that is it. I don't know if that was 5 minutes, but I tried to not make it too long.
No,
So
you did a great job.
let me know your critiques.
Yeah, I love that.
Did you learn anything?
I thought you did a great job.
Me too. You know, the tone of voice was there. You were looking, you look happy, you were relaxed, you know, you were on point.
Is there anything I can improve on?
Good eye contact.
Yeah,
I felt like it was kind of awkward with the visual aids. I didn't know how that would work out.
You look like you're in control, Elizabeth. So you look so confident, and as Mario said, you look happy talking about the topic, and the rhythm of your voice was really good. It not was so fast and not so you take pauses, but sometimes you up the tempo of your voice, and those are good techniques when you speak.
Okay, so was it too fast? Because I felt like at some points I was talking at like a normal speed, and then sometimes I was like not sure what to say, so I'd slow down, and sometimes I'd try to go really fast. So I wasn't sure.
You were fine.
Okay.
You were fine.
Okay, thank you guys.
No, it really was good. It was really good. And I'd actually like to I'd love for you to email that to me if you can, if you have it written down. I love
do.
that stop. I think it's a good training for like work. I would love it.
I actually have been learning about this in one of my other classes, so that's where I got the information. But I do have it all written out, and I can send it to you. Here, I'll send it to you over the chat right now.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
that'd be great.
I guess I will. Sure. I'll
Okay.
just do that.
Well, can I copy it that way?
I think so. Or would you rather me email it to you? I'll just email it to you, actually. Then it'll be easier.
All right, Monica, you next.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Monica.
Yeah. I'm next. Okay, so just a little forewarning. I changed mine at the last minute. Because my first topic, I was not, I don't know, I just wasn't connecting with it. And then this topic, I feel very passionate about, and that's what I realized was missing, is that I needed to do something important. So, or important to me anyway. Okay, so you ready? Okay. Hold on, I got to get a light on. So my speech tonight is on bullying. I would like to start with 3 questions for you to ponder throughout my speech. The first question is, have you ever been bullied? The second question is, have you ever bullied someone? And the third question is, have you ever witnessed someone being bullied? As you ponder those questions, I'm going to go through my speech, and I just want you to think about those things in your own personal life. My daughter, Hallie, is now 19 years old. Oh, and my visual aid just fell apart. Hold on. This is my daughter, Hallie. She's now 19 years old, and she's beautiful, smart, and strong. However, I distinctly remember when she was in the 6th grade, I picked her up from school, and she's always been a very happy, outgoing, and fun-loving. And I picked her up from school, and she was crying uncontrollably, sobbing, and she was so upset. And when I asked her what was wrong, she said to me, this girl shoved my head into a locker. And it had just happened a few minutes before, and so she was pretty upset. I asked her why she thought that the girl did this, and she said because she said that I like a boy that her friend likes. And so she was mean to her because of that. So I immediately parked my car and got my daughter out and headed to the principal's office. And I remember as I was walking in, I saw the girl, and my daughter pointed her out very discreetly, that had shoved her head into a locker. And so as a mom, it took everything I had not to say something to the girl. When I wanted to yell at her and tell her to be nice, all those things that we adults want to do. Luckily, I controlled my emotions and took my daughter into the principal's office and handled the situation in an appropriate manner, and it was handled and resolved eventually. By the end of my speech today, I hope that I can inform you of 3 things. First, why bullying happens, also why it should not happen, and what we can do to resolve it, prevent it, or not promote it. Bullying is a distinctive pattern of harming and humiliating others. In Wikipedia, it stated, bullying is the use of force, threat, or coercion to abuse, intimidate, or aggressively dominate others. It is caused by the perception of an imbalance in social or physical power. Rationalizations for such behavior are common things that we hear about all the time, such as social class, race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, appearance, behavior, body language, personality, reputation, strength, and even our size and our abilities. If bullying is done by a group, it's called mobbing. Mobbing means bullying of an individual by a group in any context, such as family, peer groups, school, workplace, neighborhood, and communities. The second thing that I would like you to take away from this is knowing why bullies bully. Knowing why bullies bully is a key factor in finding a resolution for a problem that continues to grow on a daily basis and seep into our homes through the internet and through social media. In Psychology Today, it states, the sad truth is that for some people, these are significant social personal benefits for bullying. Rather than being shunned, they in some cases are embraced or even praised for their behavior, especially from their peers. Bullies can actually be very popular among their peers. One study that examined over 2,000 students at 11 middle schools in Los Angeles conducted surveys in 7th and 8th grades. The kids ranked which of their peers were the coolest, which ones start fights or push other kids around, and who spread nasty rumors about other kids. Coolness and aggression were highly linked, and bullies enjoyed the highest social standing among classmates, whereas victims were socially marginalized. This trend, unfortunately, continues as we get older, and a recent study found that workplace bullies often have positive job evaluations and are considered highly skilled in their work politics. Thus, rather than bullies being socially unskilled outcasts, some bullying might actually be helping people ascend the social ladder. The effects of bullying can be detrimental to physical, emotional, and social health, and can have lifelong effects on those it touches, including victims, family members, communities, and workplaces. Bullying can cause low self-esteem, depression, shyness, loneliness, physical illnesses, and thoughts of or attempts on self-harm. These effects, when continued and repeated, become overwhelming and painful and create a sense of doom. feeling that it will go on forever and will until someone notices or we have the courage to stand up for ourselves. We can do something. There are things that we can do to stop or reduce bullying. Have a clear definition of bullying and training, teaching about the definition and the difference between teasing and bullying, something that is often confused. Number 2, we can quit using labels like victims and bullies and focus on the behavior and clarify the seriousness of that behavior. We can also set rules, clear rules and expectations for people to follow. We can also have open communication where people feel safe and have the ability to come forward with their grievances. And then the last one is to always be looking for the warning signs and looking out for others that might be being bullied that we just don't even realize. We can make a decision to be aware and involved in creating a solution and reducing bullying in our schools and in our workplaces and homes and throughout our communities. It is everyone's responsibility to step in and help those who are being bullied or being treated badly, and help them to have the courage and strength to stand up for themselves. At the beginning, I shared a personal story and asked a few questions. As you thought of the questions and pondered them, remember the feelings such as those that I described having, and remember how helpless you felt or angry and hurt, and use those to serve others and to empower them to come forward and to lift them up and be their hero. We can make a difference. We just need to choose to do the right thing and stand up for what is right. That's it. I know I looked down a lot, but I just finished it tonight. So go ahead, lay it on me.
What are you?
I can't hear you.
Maria, you're muted.
Maria, you're muted.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, okay, sorry. So the context is pretty
That's
good.
okay.
You have a lot of material there that is really, really good, and it's on topic for what one of the problems that happen in today's school, and it's being a hot topic for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure once you read that and you kind of memorize everything, you will be looking at the camera, you know, when you do a speech, because that comes from your heart. You're able to do that on your own.
Right.
This is one of your life experience that you had, and you have it in your mind. So I think it's going to be great. And you did great.
Yeah, I'm agree with.
Thank you. I know I need to memorize more. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm agree with Maria. We know that you wrote just a little minutes ago your speech, so that's why you were looking at your notes. But this was a really good topic, and I'm agree.
Right.
Bullying is something that is some of the disadvantages of social media and technology in these days. For example, I am in the English. There's another course English 001, and we are doing argumentative essay, and I'm working with that problem. Some guys are working with bullying, and I'm working with bullying. Some of the consequence of the social medias impacting our lives. So I think that this is, by yourself about the topic because you live it, and you research. And something that I like is that you offered some solutions we can implement to reduce the bullying in the school, not only in the school, everywhere.
Right. Good. Thank you.
I thought it was good that you had such personal experience with it. Those personal experiences always are good to start with because they kind of capture our attention. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I had written out mine, and then I saw that our teacher posted in the announcements kind of what our layout should be. So I just thought I would mention it because she said you should say the three things you're going to talk about, then talk about them, and then basically summarize it. So I had no idea, so I completely changed mine. But in case you didn't know that, I thought I would just mention that. That's what she wanted.
Did I talked about it at the beginning, but did I not summarize? Did I not summarize it? Like I should be more specific.
I think you did a good job because you were like listing things, but I might have missed something there. Okay. I don't know if you summarized. Did you summarize it?
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just for your information.
But maybe not good enough. Yeah, no, that's good. I just want to do it right. No, yeah, I think I need to summarize better at the end.
Maybe just briefly, I think that would be my comment, is just for anybody. I think that being brief and to the point is always a good idea.
I agree with that.
For speeches.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you did a good job on that.
I know mine's too long, too.
Well, you just barely wrote it. I had to practice mine a lot of times. Like, I practiced in the mirror. I did it for my husband. Like, I did it lots of times on some days. So it just takes practice, I think. And memorizing it takes a while. So I think that once you practice it, it'll be really, really good. Especially because you have that personal connection to this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to do awesome.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So, Miss next, yeah?
Yes.
Is anybody else?
No.
You are next. No, Ricardo. Nobody.
So let's start. Okay. The topic that I select for that speech is technology. I like technology because I'm working with technology just for 15 years. And that's what I do. So that's what I like. And when we talk about technology is a very common word in our days. Everything that the man has invented since the Stone Ages is part of technology. So new technologies in our days are changing our daily life and make things more easier. And that's not the only things. It's also changing the way we lived. So what I try to do this is to you girls some aspect of our lives or how the technology has changed our lives. And the first thing is that technology has changed the way we communicate. Since 1989 with the majors of the internet, the communication has changed because it brings us a new way of communication. As you remember in the past, when we communicate each other through letters, we write message and we send it, and it spent days that this message arrived to the destination. But today, with the improvement in mobile device technologies and tools like social media, instant messaging applications, and others, so we can communicate with everyone around the world, and we can do it immediately. So it says that communication today is faster, quicker, and easier than ever. There are many researches or studies that show that more than 4 billion people in the world are internet active users. So that's a lot of people. That means most 53% of the world population. Other aspect that the technology has changed is the education and the way we learn. For example, we have today online schools, and people like us can do a degree using internet and a computer, and we don't have to go to a campus, we don't have to go to a classroom to receive the instruction. There are other tools like ebooks, like e-learning platforms, video training. Those are tools that the field of education has provided us to instruct us in a better way. The third part is the world of entertainment. And here the world of entertainment has been so impacted through technologies in 2 days. For example, if you see the gaming industry, that's a huge industry now. Everyone can play his favorite game in any ways. They can play it in consoles like Xbox and PlayStations, but you can do it in your mobile phones. You can do it in your computer, so you can game almost everywhere. And especially with the streaming websites like Netflix, Popcorn Time, and others, now we can sit in our homes and enjoy every movies we want. At the past, if we want to see a movie, we must go to a cinema. Today, with the technologies, we can do it in our homes. We can see TV shows, we can see sports events, and all these things. So that's a good impact that technology do to our lives. And if we are talking about music, you remember that in the past, you have to buy CDs and tapes to listen music. But today, with devices, with music streaming web pages, you can download one song and you can create your own playlist. So you don't have to buy all the CDs you need to do it before to listen to some kind of music. The other aspect that I want to share is that technology has changed the way we do business. Today, we can access service on demand or in multiple ways. For example, we can buy clothes through the internet. We can go to the drugstore. We can pay our bills. We can transfer money. So thanks to the e-commerce technology or the digital marketing, the business have no borders today. So internet created a big line of communication between companies. Other aspect that we can say that technology has impact is the way we fight. For example, military industry has been always seen as the dark side of innovation. And this is a great, it's like a great business, create a lot of money. But in today's, I think that we create weapons to kill more people. In the past, we only fight with swords and arrows, and we kill less people. But today, with the advantage, we create mass destruction weapons, such as nuclear weapons. And this is something that technology impact our lives in not a good way. The last part I would like to say that technology has changed or helped is that technology helped to further the work of the Lord. And you're witness of this. I would like to share with you a quote that President Howard W. Hunter wrote in the 1995 March Ensign magazines. And he talks about technology. He said in that time, the role of technology in this work has been accelerated by the Lord himself, who has a guiding hand on net development and will continue to do so. However, we stand only on the threshold of what we can do with these tools. I feel that our most enthusiastic projects can capture only a tiny glimpse of how this tool can help us and the eternal consequence of this effort. So technology, thanks to technology, we have today our gospel library. And this, I think that this is a miracle, because with this tool, we can have a great library or our scripture, as you see, in our pocket, in our hands. All the contents we can get here is marvelous, and we don't have to have a big bag with those manuals and our scriptures, so we can have it in our phones. And this is a great blessing that the technology brings to our life. And the other part of the work of the Lord, I think that is family history and temple work. Thanks to Family Search, they have collected billions of valuable family history documents and let them be accessed to us So now we can do family history and get information from our ancestors easy, in an easy way. So in conclusion, girls, I think that technology has impacted our life very good. There are many others. I didn't talk about transportation. I didn't talk about the health. And Monica said about health today's with the help of technology, the science have discovered more illness or disease and can prevent them. So this is some of the ways that technology has changed our lives. Okay, this is my speech. Thank you.
Good
All
job.
right.
I don't
It sounds good. You touch a lot of points that the technology has been helpful today in today's world. So that's really good. You just need to make sure that you short a little bit, because I'm a little bit concerned that you're going to be over the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the subject that you're picking is a really extensive subject and is very interesting. So if it's your passion, you're going to start talking and talking and talking because you're enjoying that. So just keep that in mind.
You know what, Maria? I recorded, and the record was 5 minutes 32 seconds. So I need to summarize better some aspect.
It's just very, very few things, and you'll see that you will nail it to the right time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I thought it was really good too. I think you, I liked that you talked about a lot of the positive stuff, because I think, you know, like with the bullying and stuff, we can, as a society, focus on all the negative things that technology has done, but we tend to forget all of the blessings that we have because of it. And that if we use it the right way, you know, it can bless our lives. So I really liked that part a lot. I thought you had a lot of really good information.
Thank you.
I would say, in order to like make it as concise as you want, like to fit in the time limit, I would narrow your topic. So instead of talking, because your topic was technology, right? Like,
yeah.
I would talk about technology in one specific aspect, and then that will help you to be able to go into more depth and into that one aspect, and instead of just kind of briefly touching on each of the things, and that could be more interesting. And then I think another thing that might help is if you write it out and if you memorize your points. So what I did is I like wrote out, okay, these are the 3 things I'm going to talk about, and then like I wrote it out, so, and then I memorized it, and then I wrote out the summary. So write it out and have it be very, very clear what you're going to say, just so that you can make it, I don't know, you know, just so you can be very clear in your head. You want to have like a map in your mind of what it is you're going to say, so that you just say what it is you want to say instead of filling in lots of other words. But it's obvious that you have a lot of knowledge on this topic, and that's a really good thing. And you have a lot of passion about it, and I think that you did a great job on it. I'm just trying to give like real feedback. I tended to be like, good job, you know? But that's something I'm trying to do. Not that I don't think you guys are doing amazing, because you are, and I need to learn from you. I like how you guys are able to like speak so naturally. It's like, because you said you don't have a conversational tone, I tend to be kind of robotic. So I'm like, okay, I gotta just talk like I normally talk, which you guys all do that really well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I like the feedback. I think that's good.
All right, so I think I stopped the recording in the last thank you. No, I didn't.